Hello everyone, welcome to All About Paris. Today is Tuesday. It's the end, almost the end of winter. It's March. It's a rainy day. It's about 1 p.m. and we have a temperature of about 14 degrees Celsius. I will make sure to put that in Fahrenheit later. I wanted to take some time to show you around the fifth arrondissement of Paris, which is the fifth district. We are right now in the left bank, and I will show you some of the most interesting streets, also some of the nice stores that you can find. For example, in this street, which is called Rue Dante Street, is where you find many of the larger stores that have bande dessinée or comic books, also a lot of figurines and other type of manga. The fifth arrondissement is the seventh largest in arrondissement in terms of area in the city of Paris, and is actually very known for having a lot of restaurants, a lot of schools, universities particularly, and also a lot of cinemas. I think there's about 17 cinemas in this area, and those cinemas are not like large corporation cinemas, but small cinemas. As you can see, there are many cafes, many different restaurants, and particularly you find some American restaurants, obviously catering to the large groups of tourists that come from the United States and Canada. For example, like this one, Chipotle. It's a relatively new one in comparison to, in terms of presence, in comparison with McDonald's or Burger King. And as you can see, there's a lot of people eating McDonald's. I have to say that people don't like to admit that they like McDonald's and fast foods, but there's really, specifically with young people, a high demand for that kind of food. And particularly, you realize that there's these machines over there that you have yourself to decide what kind of menu do you want. Now we're crossing Boulevard Saint-Germain, which is one of the most famous boulevards in the city. This boulevard is surrounded with very high-end stores, and you see that? It's particularly the way of people walking around the city. They're in their everyday lives. But I'm not even in the middle, and wow, that's what happens. So this one, it's Cluny La Sorbonne, that's line 10, and also it's an access for RERB. The RER B, it's the line that takes you to other suburbs around the city of Paris. And that's the line that also takes you to the airport, one of the airports, which is the Charles de Gaulle airport. And here to my left, we have the thermal baths that date back to the Roman times. And actually, it's the foundation of the Musée d'Ashmolean, and it's actually the Middle Ages museum. Now we are in front of Librairie Givert Joseph, which is, we could say, a chain of bookstores in France. And this is, I would say, the main one in Boulevard Saint-Michel. We continue to walk in Boulevard Saint-Michel. This district of Paris is actually conservative, it's wealthy, and it's very intellectual, which means that a lot of people that work in journalism, a lot of university professors, between others, like lawyers, tend to live in this district. And I could say that the price of the square meter is very expensive, both for renting and also, of course, to buy a property here. However, when I say conservative, it's most of a left wing atmosphere, I would say. And anyways, this is a very diverse neighborhood, very diverse district, because you can find a lot of young people, students, but also you can find a lot of people that already are at the end of their careers. There are usually, particularly in this boulevard, even if it's a very fancy one, a lot of stores that cater to lower incomes. And especially after COVID, there has been a lot of stores that have closed, and they have opened with new businesses, like for example this here, which is like a hamburger place. One of the main squares in the city is this one, which is called Place de la Sorbonne. And as its names indicates, it's where the main building, or at least the main monumental building for La Sorbonne, it's located. It's one of my favorite squares in the city, particularly during summertime, because there's fountains, water fountains that get turned on during the hot weather time, and also you just can come and sit in those beautiful small cafes. This area is usually frequented by a lot of students, a lot of professors, but in general, a lot of people from the neighborhood. Today is a very particular day because yesterday and today were jour de grève, I would say strike days, where people, many different professions were complaining and protesting because of the changes that the current government wants to implement in their retirement age. They want to increase the age of retirement, and this is something that has been a long and strong debate in French politics the last couple of years. Right here, we're arriving at the border of the fifth arrondissement. The fifth arrondissement is its natural border, I would say, is the Seine River to the north, and then to the west you have the sixth arrondissement, the sixth district, and then you have to the south the 13th and 14th arrondissement of Paris. Right here, we're arriving to that border that I just mentioned, which is over there, the famous Luxembourg Garden, which has a Luxembourg Museum and also the Senate of the French Republic. Now I'm turning right to Rue Soufflot, and this is a very visited area of the city. A lot of tourists come around here because, as you can see at the end of the screen, one of the main monuments of the city, which is the Pantheon, it's in this area. This part of the city, and particularly this district, is very interesting, as I mentioned before, because you can find a lot of different restaurants, French restaurants, French gastronomy, but also international gastronomy. You can find many different types of budgets. There are a lot of art galleries. So it's a very interesting scene because it's young, it's dynamic, but it also means that there's all this academic and literature environment that makes it really cool. And it's a very nice area to live in Paris. Actually, for the people that follow MLA in Paris, this is what she's supposed to be living. So all this area, it's surrounded by buildings as fantastic as this one. And this is, for example, the main entrance for the Faculté de Droit, which is the law faculty. I remind you that La Sorbonne, it's the word to design basically the University of Paris, although there are a lot of universities, or not a lot of, but a couple different universities when I say La Sorbonne, because it was subdivided. So you can see there's the old observatory. The Pantheon is a magnificent building that actually is inspired from the Pantheon in Rome. If you haven't checked that building, just go check out a picture online because it's really very nice. And at least the facade, it was, they tried to reproduce it here, and I think they accomplished it very well. It was at the beginning created as a church, but after the revolution, it was decided that this beautiful building would actually welcome the greatest men and women of the French Republic. And if you visit this place, which you have to pay to go in, you can find the tombs of very famous people like Alexandre Dumas, or you can also find Victor Hugo, he's buried here. You can find also, for example, Marie Curie, and lately they transferred the body of Josephine Baker, which is one of the few women that are buried here, and also it's the first black women to be into this Pantheon. It is a very beautiful part of the city. There you have la mairie du 5e arrondissement, which is the city hall for this sub-district of the city. In my other video, I showed you quickly where is the main city hall. So at the end of the street, I hope you can see there's a beautiful perspective of the city. It is the Eiffel Tower, and now cover would be part of the Luxembourg building. So a lot of people usually visit in this area. This is the I would say back part of the law faculty, and right next to it, if you can see, there's this beautiful building, which is a library, and that library it's Saint Genevieve Library. Saint Genevieve, it's the main saint, I would say, of Paris.
En plus, je trouve que leur petit, vraiment, ça les arrête pas. Non,
Parce que les gens s'en battent les 3 minutes.
Wait, can I see it real quick? I want to.
Which one? That shirt. Oh, it is open.
Now I'm in the back part of the Place du Panthéon, and we arrived directly to this beautiful church, which is Saint Etienne du Mont. And it's difficult to see even when you are walking around here, but all this area it's in the top of a hill. And we're supposed to be in one of the relatively high points of the city. That's why usually when you are from other points in the city, you can see the Pantheon very easily. If this area somehow seems familiar to you, it's because there's this film by I forgot the name right now, but it's actually called Midnight in Paris, and it's where the protagonist actually sits on some stairs, and he waits for a car that will take him to the past so he can meet other famous writers. And it's actually right in those steps over there where the movie takes place, and he actually waits for the car that will take him to the past, like the time machine car. So we are now in Rue de la Montagne de Sainte-Geneviève. Yes, that's the name of the street. And it means the street of the mountain of Saint Genevieve. And if you can hear, it's relatively silent. And it's because it's a very quiet, small street. But at night, usually, especially on the weekends, it becomes very, very loud, especially in summer, because there's a lot of people that come to this area. There are many small bars. So, as you can see, it's the oldest neighborhood in the city. This main part, which is called Quartier Latin, was created during the Roman Empire time, and many different ruins have been found while they've been trying to build new buildings. That's an example for Arène de Lutèce, which is kind of a place for people to sit around, like an amphitheater. I'll try to show you that later. Let me know if you want to know more about La Sorbonne or the Roman ruins that are in this part of the city. So if I turn a little bit, you could see that there's like kind of a hill, right? And today is garbage day in this street. I'd say that garbage trucks, they pass every day basically, but that's why you have all the garbage, the dustbins, they're all outside. We are now going through Rue des Écoles, which is School Street. And if I turn right while across the street, you can see at the end a very large building from the Musée complex, which is one of the main campuses of one of the universities of Paris. In this part, you see there are a lot of different restaurants from different countries. And that's a pattern that repeats, and both in restaurants and also bars like this one over here. Thank you very much for having this great adventure with me. I hope you subscribe and please let me know in your comments what places you'd love to visit, what places you feel interested for, and I will try to show you more of this wonderful city, Paris. Until next time.